when I went into college, the Sputnik, the first Russian satellite went up. And I applied to City College in engineering. And I have zero to no skills in math. So I may have lasted a week. But there I was driven by the wrong things. It was just, you need engineers because Sputnik went up. I had an interest in frogs and stuff. That's what I thought biology was, and I was very interested in those things, and fish and so on. And when I came to college, I found it the most interesting subject by far. I still do. The then chairman of microbiology was named Morris Shirago. He got his degree in Cornell, New York, and he would come up to the Northeast to recruit students. I was working in the Catskill Mountains as a waiter, paying my way through college. I took a day off and came into the city and met him. I forget where, at some hotel lounge, I think. And he interviewed me, and I had looked at the catalog, and they had a number of things that I was impressed with, including electron microscopy. This is would be 1961. So not every micro department had that, and I was very interested in micro per se, and the rest, as they say, is history. I was a college freshman, she was a high school student, and we were on a blind date with a friend, fixed us up, and it was love at first sight, as they say. And I told that friend, I said, I'm going to marry her. We both got our PhDs here. She was in Columbia, and I pulled her out to come here because I couldn't get into Columbia. We've been married since 1963, so something's worked. It wasn't me, certainly, it was her. I got my degree in 67. Then I went to postdoc with Bob Lester in the medical center for 4 years in biochemistry to try to learn some science. I did micro, which was pretty applied, and then I wanted to learn some basic science. He became a very, very close friend over the years. And he taught me science, what I would call modern science at that time. In the early days that I was here, we did a lot of science together. The interesting feature about University of Kentucky, it transitioned. The medical center was really an important step in the development of science at the university. When it came, it really made a statement with their basic science departments that they were serious in doing science. And it was a good place to be, particularly in the early years. Lots of funding, I had lots of grant money, and it was really fun to be here. The thing I'm the proudest of was for about six years, I think it was, or maybe 7, the university queried all graduating seniors as to what faculty had the most impact during their stay at UK. And they chose the 10 of those, the top 10 vote getters, which they call the top 10. And in every year but one, I was in that list, and that made me very, very proud. The other thing that I think I enjoyed is my 20 minutes of fame, and which was kind of acknowledged this year's graduation, which is Jeff Manley. Ta-da! He was an auto mechanic, and he worked on specialty cars, and I had a Toyota that was broken. So I brought it to Jeff Manley, and he proceeded to fix it. He was conversant with some of the things I was interested in at the time, anti-inflammatory and so on. So I asked his history, and he hadn't finished high school. So I said, let's go back to high school, finish it, and then I'll bring you to my lab. So the rest, as they say, is history. He was amazingly good. And I made one mistake. I said he was very bright. The mistake was that he was brilliant. I've said this all my life. My biggest growth spurt intellectually and as a person was college. No question about it. I came in as a kid, a very undisciplined kid. I left as an undisciplined adult. But in that interim, I grew up. A lot of discussions that happened. That's why I think living on campus is also very good. A lot of my growth came out of discussions, from 12 to 3 a.m. Of course, I couldn't get up for my 8 o'clocks, but, that was life. It was a trade-off. In my view, a good one. At any rate, living and experiencing different people. And now, UK has a much more heterogeneous population of people, and it's really an interesting place. In the state, it's the major university. No matter what Louisville or anybody else thinks, it's the major university. It has the most depth and breadth in terms of what it teaches. and it's the highest prestigious institution.